Here are the objectives of this webinar. To recognize the nature, principles, and process of noting details. I think you've gotten some already, right? Sir Mark, nakakuha na kayo ng konti with the video clip that I've presented about me, with the questions, with the process that I've done, taking down notes, you know, with the categories that I've listed. I think you've gotten some already, and you've learned the first objective. Next objective is describe and analyze the types of details. We will describe that in detail later, but remember I told you, why did I put them in two categories? The questions about my day at home. Why do you think I put them in blue box and in red box? Next, identify and utilize comprehension strategies for noting significant details. Teachers, I'm sure you've already applied one or two or more than that, some of the comprehension strategies that I'll be talking about today. So the challenge, I was given these materials, and I told Teacher Joe that JV, that the challenge for me is, how am I going to simplify it? How am I going to make this time 2 hours? I don't want to waste your time, to be more productive, more fun, that I can also utilize whatever you have, whatever strength you have, we can utilize that. So we'll try to simplify everything for those strategies, okay? Sir Mark, makinig kayong mabuti. Mag-take down notes kayo since you are really interested in knowing those teaching strategies, okay? Now, so this is just a reminder. One of the many challenges we face in classroom is how to create active readers and writers who will be literate and critical adults. See, Ma'am Ruby, I think Ma'am Ruby was really like very like in full attention of giving details and like trying to analyze the evidences that was presented in the video. With the activities that I gave you a while ago with the videos, I'm sure you've gotten some. I want you to reflect on those. What did Teacher Vivian do to us that I can also apply in my classroom? Maybe you can also use the wheel of names. Maybe you can also do something like a video that would make your learners be connected with what they are learning. Next, reading is a highly strategic process, constantly constructing meaning or ideas using a variety of strategies. Yes, and we know that. Consequently, teaching comprehension strategies should focus on thinking, problem solving, and monitoring understanding. Now, significant details. Kanina pa si Miss Vivian talking about significant details. You're taking some significant details in Miss Vivian's life. I'm also taking significant details in your life. I've been telling you details, okay? Because it's a part of a whole. It may also refer to small elements that collectively constitute a work. Okay, and there are some significant and insignificant, but it says that you may not remove the insignificant because sometimes it may also affect significantly, yeah, the integrity of the text. Just like maybe you might think, siguro yung pagdidilig niya, nadaanan niya lang yung plant na yun. Pero wala naman yun. That could also be perceived as insignificant detail. But at the end, I ask you about that, right? My interest. And someone answered that, yeah, I am a plantita as well. Okay. How did this teacher apply apply this noting details for the second graders?
If you are a good detective, you have to look for the facts and details needed in your detective work. Facts and details tell us more about what the text is all about, and they give us information about what we are watching and reading. So, are you ready to become detectives today? I would like to ask Callista. Callista, kindly read the information inside the box. The two boxes, please. Kindly read everything from the small box and then go to the bigger box. Go ahead, read it for us.
Small white long hairless dog wearing red collar with no tag last seen May 24. If you find Roddy, please call 555-6702 or bring him to 436 West London Street. Ask for Michelle.
Okay, Pau Pau, I need your help. Upon listening to Callista's reading of our text this morning, can you read the first question and answer it for us? Can you tell us the color of the pet? Answer in complete sentence, please.
The picture of the dog is white.
Wow, I like what you did, Pau Pau. You got a portion from the question and make it the subject of your sentence, then added your predicate, which is your response. Now, how about the second question? Who can read the second question for us and respond in a complete sentence for the answer being asked from you here for number 2? Go ahead, Callista.
What is the owner's name? The owner's name is Michelle.
Good job, Callista. Callista, what gave away that answer? What clue helped you in finding out that it's Michelle and not Rowdy who was the owner of this pet? What helped you, Callista?
Because in the big box it says if you find Roddy, which is a dog, and it says ask for Michelle.
Oh, so the one who's in the picture was a lost dog, and you're able to connect that the missing dog is the pet of Michelle. I like that, Callista. Let's give Callista our hurrah clap. 1, 2, 3, then hurrah, hurrah. Can we do it 4 times for Callista? Clap your hands first in 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hurrah! Hurrah! Hurrah for Callista! Good job. Keep on giving your best for Jesus. I like that. Okay, sit up straight. Chin up. Eyes on Mizena. Get ready for question number 3. Who would like to do it? Yes, Mabel. Go ahead, Mabel.
The pet's name. The pet name is Rowdy.
Oh, thank you, Mabel. Oh, I like the energy of Pau Pau. But Pau Pau, let's stop writing down inside the chat box first. I know you're excited. You would like to volunteer for the next question. Let's give first some of our classmates a chance to do that. Good job, Mabel. Very good. The name is Rowdy. Now, can you give me the answer to the 4th question? This time, I would like to ask Joey. Joey, can you help us with the 4th question? Go ahead, Joey. Read for us the 4th question and answer in complete sentence.
Where does the pet live?
Can you tell us where does that pet live?
In its owner's house.
Ooh, was that information given in the text? Where will we find the owner's house? Can you read it for us? Where does the owner, Michelle, live?
Which question?
For number 4, where does the pet live? Where does Michelle, the owner, and the pet, Rowdy, live? Can you tell us the address of the house?
No.
Where do they live?
555.
Oh, you're telling us the number. The number where we could reach Michelle. How about the address? Where will we find Michelle's house?
West London Street.
It is West London Street. Very good, Joey. Okay, give yourselves 3 pats on the shoulder. Ready? All of you. You acted like great finders or good detectives. Do it in 3. If you are a good detective,
Yeah, that is an example, the reality inside the classroom. If you have noticed, there's some classroom management technique that you've also learned, I hope, when you do online teaching. Yeah. All right. Let's continue discussing. Yes, those are about details. Okay. And there are 2 examples of details, this explicit details and implicit details. Explicit details stated clearly and in details. There's no room for confusion or doubt. Yung kaninang when I asked you, did I really wash the dishes? What is that? What kind of question is that? Did I really wash the dishes? Is it explicit or implicit? Si Ma'am Ruby. Ma'am Ruby, did I really wash the dishes? Is that explicit or implicit detail?
I think, Mom, it's implicit.
Why do you think it belongs to the implicit category?
You're not trying to say to us you're not really washing, but in fact, you're just faking it.
Yes,
I
yes,
guess.
yes. Yes, very good. Thank you. It's just implied. It's just implied and not directly stated, right? Okay, so I told you we're going back to that. Yeah, so the blue one, which one is the explicit? Which one is the explicit? Is it the blue one or red one? Would you mind typing in the chat box? Explicit. I'm asking explicit. Which one is the explicit type of question? You can just type in the chat box blue or red. Explicit.
it's the blue, explicit.
Blue.
Blue, blue. Thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Good. How about of course, and the other one is implicit. Yes, thank you. And Mom Ruby already explained why they are in the implicit category. Okay, so this is another example. I'm sure you've gotten it. So I'll just move it forward. Medyo napaganda tayo ng discussion ng activities ano ako sa activities natin. So this is another example that we can give our students maybe in 3rd grade, categorizing the questions or the information and details as explicit and implicit. Okay, this is self-explanatory already. I think you've gotten the idea on significant details, explicit and implicit details. All right. So yes, yay! We've targeted 2 goals already. Goal number 2, we're able to describe and analyze the types of details in the text. Okay, this is just very simple, and Miss Anna, our 2nd grade teacher, was able to explain it clearly.
Blue was called blue.
Because here's the color blue.
Okay, because of the color of this animal. Now, sometimes we use what we can see, the literal sense of the things that we see as we understand the text. But not only that, there are times we are hiding beneath what we are reading and
Yeah. So those are just ways on how we can explain it to the kids. Okay. We are hiding some information through, but those information has evidences to prove. Okay, as
was
implicit.
called blue.
All right. Yay. I'm looking at the time and we have a 3-minute break. Before we move on to our third goal for today, third objective, let's have a 3-minute break. You can grab your coffee, you can go to the restroom. Yeah. Any question regarding those two? If you don't have, just give me a thumb up. Kung clear naman po lahat, then we can proceed. If you have question, go ahead. Okay lang po. I'll try my best to answer through the knowledge and I think more of the experiences that I've had.
Clear po.
Clear. Okay, clear. Let's move forward. Yay! So, mabilis-bilis tayong matatapos. Okay. So, we've been talking about noting significant details. These details are the ones that good readers and authors use to emphasize the elements of the literary text or key information of the information text. Yun lang yun. To spot on those. And I think you know and understand that clearly, right? Noting details is a reading strategy that involves picking out from a text. Kinukuha natin yung tulad yan. Kunyari, another one, tuyo, daing, itlog. Okay, and what else? Plantita din si madam. Or galaw-galaw lang pag may time. Those were information and evidences that you're able to pick from that visual presentation. So that is a reading strategy. Okay. And here are some reading strategies. We have story map. Give me a thumb up po if you are familiar with this. Have you used this in your class? Yes, very good. Thank you, Ma'am Tina. Okay, please give me a thumb up if you've used this in your class. Okay, story map. It has all the elements of the story. Okay, that's one. Ito naman, before this BDA, before, during, and after reading lesson structure. Have you used this? Like when you are about to read a story, before you read the story with the kids, you ask them first about the author, the title, you allow them to infer, you hook them, and that is before reading strategy. And during reading, we know that we give some questions to make them think as well, to make them relate to the stories that we will be reading them. And then after reading, of course, we extend and elaborate, give them some more information, some more reading, like trying to synthesize everything with them. Okay, have you used this? In one way or another, actually, we've been using all of these, some of these strategies, just like what I told you a while ago. Okay, thank you. These are some strategies. What are some strategies that we can do during reading? Yeah, I'm sure you've done predicting, asking them to predict, asking questions, clarifying, summarizing. During reading, you don't just let them read. Wag po nating, okay, read pages 101 to 105. No, don't just do that. We have to try to hook their interest first. Kasi our young kids have like negative notion, right? Preconceived notion. Magbabasa na naman, nakakatamad naman yan. Okay? We try to make them, katulad ng inano ko, I'm interested with you and you're also interested with me. You're really paying attention. You're able to hook. Hopefully I was able to hook your attention to listen to me. I know that some webinars, seminars can also be boring, right? And I also I also don't like that kind of seminars and webinars. So we try to hook the students so that they can make connection. Okay, these are some strategies as well. Yeah, reread the text, activate prior knowledge, just like what I told you, hooking. prior knowledge. Using context clues, infer meaning, think aloud, summarize the story, use word attack strategies, making predictions, locate keywords, visualize, use graphic organizers, evaluate understanding. I think with these, how many? 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 boxes here. I'm sure you've used 3 or more strategies here already. Teachers, we don't really need to use all of these strategies in one big chunk. No, it depends on the need of the learners. Let's say, and the profile of your learners. Let's say your learners are more into visual or auditory learners or kinesthetic learners. You have to really know your learners, understand your learners, so that we can utilize their strengths and help them and scaffold them with their weaknesses. Okay. Yeah, another strategy, close reading. I will not really teach you all of these specific strategies in details, but maybe just give you an overview on what these are, because I'm sure, knowing you guys, you've been using this. I'm sure you've been using this. So close reading represents one type of reading in which students have a go at a text, becoming the primary investigator of its meaning. That's the meaning of close reading. A close reader is a detective. Yun, yung katulad kanina, when Miss Anna asked the kids to okay, but you cannot just ask them, right? Have you noticed some kids, they're not able to directly spot on the correct clues or details that Miss Anna was asking the teacher in the video, but she helped the kids. She gave scaffolding to the kids so that they would understand what was Miss Anna trying to spot on. Okay, so that's actually the work of us teachers. We are helping the kids to spot on those significant details. Yeah, that is close reading. Here are the steps in close reading. As we can see, we don't only read it once, twice, or we read it as much as possible 3 times. Okay, because we have different purposes, okay, in reading the text. And another strategy is text-dependent questions. Yeah, you give them questions while you are reading them. And after reading them, what are asking them about the evidences. And here are the responses. Okay. Annotation. Annotation siguro sa ano na to, upper elementary. Annotation. Here is an example of the annotation. So high school and upper elementary, and here are the symbols. I can share, yeah, we can actually share the slide to you so that you can also refer to, because they are self-explanatory. Here are example of annotation, circling, underlining, writing on the text. This is also one of my favorite strategies when doing this PhD doctoral class. So I would usually annotate my materials. So here are examples. You can underline those details, circle some specific details. Yeah. These are just examples. Putting on the star here. Questions if you are not so sure about the words or the vocabulary, writing around that. And I'm sure you're also familiar with diagrams, charts, outlining. Here are some of those. Yeah, I'm sure you've used graphic organizers for description, sequencing, cause and effect, problem solving, compare and contrast. Yeah, these are, I'm sure the materials that you have from DepEd, from our government, are enough for you to explore and try applying. Just have that confidence, Sir Mark. Just have that confidence in using those tools. I'm sure you were given those materials. Parang ano lang, parang let's say let's say I'm given this phone, and then I don't know how to use, just try exploring it. Then later you'll be able to maximize the use of it. Okay, and I'm also telling my students that I'm intentionally teaching this even to first grade, second grade. In my school now, I was able to teach grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5 English. Okay, before I became a coordinator. So even as early as first grade, I taught them these specific strategies. Bakit? Because I told them that when you know these strategies, you'll be able to use it even in other subjects such as math, if you're reading problem solving, such as Bible, or social study, history, science. If you know how to note details, note significant details, then you'll be able to understand the text. Even when you go, I told them, even when you go to junior high, to senior high, to college, or even when you become a professional, you'll be able to use this. So one example that I told them, Miss Vivian knows how to drive a car in the Philippines. I know those skills. Then when I moved to Jakarta, I was able to drive. Again, even if in the Philippines, we used to drive in left ba tayo? Left ba sa Philippines? And then here on the right, yung driver's seat in the Philippines is on the left, and in Jakarta on the right, sa right yung driver's seat. So, but I was able to read that because I have the skill in driving. I've used it in a different car, in a different setting, in a different policy, in a different traffic rules, in a different setup. But I was able to do that because I have the skills in driving. Same with these reading strategies. If you already know how to note details, how to predict outcomes, how to ask questions, analyze, synthesize, use cause and effect, these text structure, you will be better. You'll become better and better. The most important thing is you apply it as you sharpen those skills. Okay, so okay, I just want to show you, just to simplify everything, just like what I told Miss Jo. The challenge for me is to simplify this. Okay, I want to simplify this and show this in this diagram. Noting significant detail is a reading comprehension strategy. And all of these, the one that I told you a while ago, are all under the umbrella of noting significant details. Text annotation is under significant details. Close reading is a strategy so that you can note significant details. Story map using graphic organizers are all strategies so that you can note significant details. So this is how I would like to, I want to leave this to you, this graphic organizer, so you can also understand and see the bigger picture. Okay, so these are the strategies, the noting significant details strategies that are present there in the, okay, 8:43. I think we still have a little bit of time. Before we move forward, is there any question regarding those three specific goals that we have for today? Is everything clear?
Clear.
Okay, clear. All right, so I still have a bit of time, Ma'am Jo. Okay, let me show this. Or maybe Miss Vivian will wear something like this on Monday. Okay, so who else? Who are the other characters in the story? Who do you think these?
The people that are poor.
Oh, poor people. Okay. How did you know that they are poor, Zach?
Well, you can see through their clothing, and they're talking to Mother Teresa, and Mother Teresa usually helps the poor people.
and they're like bringing empty pots with nothing inside. So it's kind of like they're asking for food and money.
Wow, I like that. I like how you inferred, Zach. Actually, you've given the clues that you've seen. The picture, the women holding pot, and also your understanding. Okay, yeah, uh, your prior knowledge about who Mother Teresa is and what did she do um, when she was here. Oh, my dad asked me if I wanted. Oh, okay. Yeah, think about that, Bianca. Yes, of course. So Zach just given us his okay, thank you for that. I'm going to turn up our chat box for a while, or maybe Miss Vivian will wear something like this. Okay, so that was one of my lessons in grade 5. So they're very active in like speaking their minds out. If you have noticed, I just accepted any answers from them, but I don't really end with their answer. I tried to really ask them some more. Yes, Sight, why do you think? Can you predict why? Why did you say that these women are poor? How did you know that Mother Teresa is helping? You know, those things. We don't really end with one answer from there, because sustained, it says here, effective comprehension strategy instruction, sustained elaborate discussions about text allow students to explore multiple perspectives and concepts about narrative text, and that support critical reflection and interpretation. With that kind of lesson, they are able to reflect, to interpret the text. Okay, comprehend text comprehensions can be improved by instructions that help readers use specific comprehension strategies. Now, again, we cannot give what we do not have. We cannot give what we do not have. If we are very, let's say, you know your strengths as a teacher, you use that. Let's say you're very confident in using story map, then use that. Or you're very confident in using graphic organizer, then use that for your kids. Something as a reading comprehension strategy that you feel very confident. Okay, there's no like cookie cutter, like, okay, you have to use this only, no other strategies. No, we have our own strengths, and let's maximize those strengths to also utilize on the students comprehension skills. But I'm not telling that you only teach like story map, you only use graphic organizers, you only use before, during, and after reading strategies. No, you have to also introduce those strategies to the kids so that they will know, and also reflect. Oh, this strategy is easy for me, I will use this. You know, metacognition, you've heard metacognition, right? No, metacognition, we also teach metacognition to our students, learning how to learn. Metacognition, like learning yourself. Okay, I am an audio learner, so I learn best when I listen. That's why I love music. I love listening to music because I learn best when I listen. But there are kids who learn best when they are moving, when they are touching, right? So that is metacognition. Excuse me. Okay, let's proceed. Scaffolding. Is this, I'm sure this is not new to you. Um, does any one of you know the meaning of scaffolding? In your own word, what is scaffolding for you? Anyone?
It's a helping tool for our kids to learn better, to learn in an easier manner.
Yes, exactly. Scaffolding, right? And you've watched two videos from Miss Vivian for grade 5 and grade 2, right? Can you identify some scaffolding techniques that that we've used? You can type in your answer in the chat box or just unmute your mic if you want. Can you identify some scaffolding? All right.
You've given us example the what do you call that? The no ano yun? Anong tawag nga doon? I forgot.
Okay, yes, there are there's modeling there, right? Modeling, given examples, and I've also like asking and answering, yeah, so that they can predict. Those are all scaffolding, asking, trying and I've also shown pictures, yeah, for them to be hooked, for them to relate on. Okay, that is scaffolding technique because I'm sure the educators here, those who graduated education here, know about Vygotsky's zone of proximal development. Okay? Yeah, ang tagal na nun, 20 years ago na natin, 20 plus years ago na. Zone of proximal development. Can you give me a thumb up if you know this? Okay, all right. Okay, thank you for your honesty. Zone of proximal development. We know zone, right? Okay, this is my zone. This is where I'm comfortable working on. We all have our zone of actual development. Yung kaya lang natin, kaya lang natin. Okay, I can just drive in West Jakarta. Kasi yung traffic dito, not so bad. When I go out, that is not my zone anymore. Okay, but with the help, let's say my husband will help me, will assist me. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to assist you to develop in your proximal. Like, okay, palakihin pa natin. Jakarta has west, east, north, and south. Okay, kaya mo yan. When let's say he's giving me scaffolding. Kaya mo yan. Okay, I'll be here. Just do this, do that. All right? And then we can extend your zone. Yeah. Okay, not only West Jakarta, you can already drive in the north, in the south. Okay, so that is extending. You have your new zone of actual development. So yun yung, and with the kids, ano yun, Miss Vivian? So how do we apply that? How do we apply that? Yeah, by giving them some questions, just like what happened in the lesson. I gave them some questions. They understand. Oh, Mother Teresa is like this. Oh, this picture is telling us that Mother Teresa loved to help the poor. But before that, meron pang lesson dyan na okay, they understand what they're seeing, but actually they can see beyond that by the questions and scaffolding techniques that the teacher, we as educators can give them. And by using those reading strategies that we learned, then we can help them go beyond their territory to their new actual zone. Okay? So they gain confidence and learn more of themselves, of their metacognition. They will learn that, oh, kaya ko palang ganun. I can actually understand this text. Oh, those kinds of realization, those are the new zone of actual development. Okay? So, yeah. So these are some of the quotes from well-known educators. Uses diverse, challenging, context-rich text that is pertinent to students' lives. That's why we really need to Think of something that would relate them. Okay? Research indicates that teaching explicit comprehension strategies before, during, and after reading improves students' engagement and understanding of the text. Okay. Um, okay, this one is another scaffolding. We still have 5 minutes. The strategies that we learn from the language frames. Okay, let's do this together first, and later I'm going to give you an individual work. Okay, let's figure it out together. What do you read? What clues are you seeing here? What's happening here?
And can I
Yes, Ethan. What do you read here?
I read about a person who was the writer's grandfather who stood up for what was right and who stood up for justice.
Ah, wow. You've shared so much. Thank you, Ethan. So, in short, you've mentioned about the grandfather, right?
Yes.
Trying to fight for justice. And what is that specific word? What is that specific word that the grandfather was?
Constitution.
What was it?
Freedom.
Okay, freedom. All right, thank you. So I read that other for freedom for everyone. Okay, thank you. You know about freedom mean? Same. Oh,
I know that freedom means to be free, to not be under someone's control,
wow.
always follow what somebody does.
I like that.
I
I like that.
I think
How about you?
I think that freedom is to break free from something horrible that happened to you and other people or your family.
Yes. Yeah, I like what both of you mentioned. Okay, to break free, to be not having someone to control you. Wow, nice. That is prior knowledge. Okay, and so, what will be your conclusion? What will be your conclusion? Hmm. We were talking about.
So, and so slavery must end, freedom must start.
Okay, thank you, Zach. Very good. All right, so here is the next part of that narrative, personal narrative. I'm going to share with you this link so that everyone would make an inference for all right, so that's another scaffolding technique like modeling. So you give one part of the text first, and then you help them. You gave them language frames. I gave them sorry, sa dog. Okay, language frames that will help them think, structure their thoughts. So and then later they would do independent learning. So ito ginagamit namin yung Google form na. But they are actually like redoing what we've actually done. And prior to this, I've also scaffolded, yeah, this one, the key concepts. The key concepts were introduced to them so that they would understand. This is another pre-reading activity that I've done with them so that we can unlock. I'm sure you've done this, unlocking of difficulties, right? Or understanding vocabulary words in the text. So before that, before modeling, I make sure that the words, the vocabulary words in the text are being understood by the learners. Okay, so those are some scaffolding technique that I've introduced to my students. Okay, yes, all right. Which comprehension strategy in teaching, noting details, do you like the most and why? Maybe you can just answer it by yourself. So here are some noting details specific strategies that we've talked about. I was not able to show everything to you, but we've done most of those reading strategies in class here in Indonesia as English teachers. Marami pa kaming Google Meet recordings that we can, because we have a bank of Gmeet recordings that we put all of those teaching from grade 1 until grade 6. So yeah, some proof or evidences that we are actually using those strategies here in Indonesia. All right, so yes, please think about it. Which among these comprehension strategies in teaching noting significant details do you like the most, and why? You can just answer that, or maybe you can just copy what are those, or put a star, some annotation, okay? Because it's already time. All right, so I hope you can also use this real reflection, and I hope you can use some of the reading strategies for noting details when you go back to your classroom. Yeah, balik ulit tayo sa question and answer portion. Go ahead. Please ask if you have some questions. That's okay. I'll try to answer them. Maybe teaching strategies in class or anything regarding that na medyo malabo pa sa inyo. The floor is open now. If you want to type in the question in the chat box, go ahead din po.
Guys, you have questions? Hello? Hello? Teacher Ruby, you have questions?
Hi,
Hello.
Ruby.
Maybe my question for you is, what do you think is the most effective strategy that you have used for your class?
Oh, yes. My most effective strategy does not mean that it will also be your most effective strategy. Okay, I'll just be answering this for my class in 5th grade, because my strategy in 5th grade would also be different. Maybe that was the best strategy last year, but this year will be different because of the type of the learners that I would have. Okay, so there's no cookie cutter strategy. Like I use this as one of the best strategies, but this might not be the best strategy for you guys in your context, in your culture. But for me, asking and answering question, so trying to develop their critical thinking skills. If you have noticed, actually, I just cut some clips. Those are combinations of strategies. Those are combinations. We know that. That's why we can't just live with modules. Kaya nga kailangan nila ng teachers eh. They need human beings to intervene, to scaffold. They cannot just be given, okay, use this, answer this, read this. No, that's why teachers are needed. So those are the, yeah, I've used so many strategies in one. Let's say I've also used story map, graphic organizers, but I would always have asking and answering questions, analyzing types of details as well. So it's a combination of those strategies. Thank you for that question, Ruby.
Thank you po, Ma'am Vivian.
You're welcome. Any other question? Sir Marlon, you're saying something?
I said, ma'am, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I've learned a lot.
Oh, thank you po. Eh, si Sir Mark, ano kayang bagong natutunan ni Sir Mark?
Yes, ma'am, about strategies.
Yes, Sir Mark, ano kaya ang magagamit mong strategy?
Dito po sa ano ma'am, binabasa ko itong strategy, yung ano ma'am, feeding graphic organizer ma'am. Ito ma'am, na ano ko na to, na-adapt ko na to ma'am, pag ako ng lesson. Tapos, konting story map. Ano kasi ma'am, Filipino, kaya pwede man sa Filipino.
Ah, yes, very good. Yes,
Gameplay.
yeah, that's right. Just like what I told my students, you don't just need to use this in English. You can also use this in other subjects, even in your Bahasa. Bahasa is Filipino. Bahasa class, even in your mathematics class, even in your, so kung hindi man kayo English teachers here, these strategies are also helpful for you, yeah, to scaffold, to help your learners. Yeah.
Thank you ma'am.
Mark. Siguro ang maiiwan ko sa inyo, I think we have our own, like, tulad ng tanong ni Miss Ruby, ano bang pinaka-effective? Pinaka-effective siya kasi doon tayo confident eh. We cannot give what we do not have. If we have that and we are confident using that, then it will surely be effective.
Naka-present na?
Yes.
Okay na.
Yes
Sige.
po, Ma'am JB.
Certificate of Commendation is hereby awarded to Vivian R. Villanueva as resource speaker for sharing her valuable insights and expertise on the topic hunting for the nitty-gritty, noting the significant details and textual evidences through close reading during the school-based training on literacy instruction in English on June 21, 2021 at Villa Grande Homes Elementary School, Concepcion Grande, Naga City, Philippines, given this 21st day of June 2021 at Naga City, Camarines, Philippines. Signed, Juraida O. Villaray, proponent, Yvette B. S. San Juan, principal. Thank you. Let's clap our hands for Miss V.
Thank you po, Ma'am V.
Thank you so much.